Have you ever had that feeling, that nagging sense there's just more inside you? Like this deep, untapped potential you're not quite reaching? Or maybe feeling like you're holding back from what you could really do? Well, today we're doing a deep dive into David Goggins's Can't Hurt Me. And look, this isn't just some memoir. It's more like a really intense guidebook. Yeah, it's about building serious mental toughness, grit, resilience, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. And our mission here really is to pull out the core ideas from the book, the philosophy behind it. These aren't just abstract thoughts, they're tools, designed to help you face down your limits, break through those mental walls we all build, and hopefully ignite that inner drive, maybe transform your life, your career, how you think about things.
Okay, let's start with maybe his most famous idea. That concept of the governor and the 40% rule. What exactly is he getting at there?
Right, so the governor. Think of it like a limiter we put on ourselves, mentally, emotionally. It's almost like a safety feature kicking in way too early. And the 40% rule is Goggins' big claim about that. He says, when your mind is screaming, stop, I'm done, can't do anymore, that moment of utter exhaustion, you're actually only at about 40% of what you're truly capable of.
40%, really?
Yeah. He argues that feeling is mostly a false alarm, your brain trying to keep you in the comfort zone.
Wow. Okay, so understanding that is one thing, but how do you actually push past it? Does he give practical ways to access that other 60%?
He does. It's not just about brute force. He talks about the cookie jar.
The cookie jar?
Uh-huh. It's a mental technique. You basically collect all your past victories every single time you overcame something tough, pushed through pain, and succeeded. You store those memories, those cookies. Then when you hit that 40% wall and your mind's telling you to quit, you mentally reach into that cookie jar, pull out a past success, and remind yourself, I've done hard things before, I can do this too.
Ah, I see. So it's like weaponizing your own past achievements against present doubt.
Exactly. It reframes the struggle. Makes it less about physical limits and more about winning that mental game, redefining what's possible for you.
That makes sense. Okay, so you use the cookie jar to push past the 40%, but getting there requires some serious self-honesty first, right? Which brings us to the accountability mirror.
That sounds pretty intense, facing yourself like that every day. How does it actually work to build you up, not just tear you down?
Yeah, it sounds harsh, but it's about cutting through the excuses we all make. It's a daily practice. You stand in front of a mirror, and you're brutally honest. No blaming others, no self-pity. You write down your fears, your insecurities, your goals, right there on the mirror.
Write them on the mirror.
Yep. Maybe use sticky notes or a marker. You write down the problems, the excuses, and then right next to them, you write down actionable steps. What are you going to do about it? It forces you to take ownership. And every time you tackle one of those steps, achieve a small goal you wrote down. That builds genuine confidence. Excuses lose their power. Okay, I can see how that direct confrontation followed by action would build resilience.
Definitely. You're proving to yourself daily that you could overcome the things you wrote down.
So once you've got that brutal honesty going with the mirror, Goggins talks about developing a calloused mind. What does he mean by that? It sounds kind of tough.
It is tough, but it's the goal, really. Think of calluses on your hands. They form from repeated friction, right? A calloused mind is similar. It's mental resilience built through intentionally seeking out discomfort, facing failures, dealing with adversity over and over again.
So it's not something you're born with.
Not at all, according to Goggins. It's developed. You train yourself to embrace discomfort, even see pain as a signal of growth, not a reason to stop. You learn to use failures not as endpoints, but as fuel, as lessons. It changes how you react to challenges. You start to meet them with more confidence, less fear.
So you stay focused on the long game, even when it hurts in the moment.
Precisely. You build this mental fortitude, this calloused mind. So really putting it all together, Goggins' philosophy gives you this kind of roadmap, doesn't it, for living a bit more boldly, pushing way past what you thought were your limits, and actually using failures as building blocks for success.
Yeah, it really comes down to that unwavering self-discipline and developing a mindset that doesn't just put up with pain or hardship, but kind of welcomes it, sees it as the way to grow. So here's something to think about. Knowing now that you might only be using, say, 40% of your real potential, what's one challenge, maybe something that feels insurmountable right now, that you'd commit to facing head-on, starting today?